Okay, so right here, it does not matter how many terms you have. The first thing I always want you to look for is the GCF, okay? So I always want you to look to see if they have something in common. So I'm going to start with 14 because that's the smaller of the two numbers. And I'm going to ask myself, does 14 go into 42? It does. So I'm going to pull out a 14. Do they have x's in common?
Yep.
What's the smallest exponent? 1. So it's just going to be x to the first, which is just plain x. Do they have a y in common?
Yes.
What is the smallest exponent? 2. So it means I'm going to pull out y squared. So 14xy squared is my GCF. Okay? Now I'm going to figure out what's left over in my parentheses. Now you don't have to put the 1, but you can. Just remember that when you're looking at a multiple choice answer, it won't have it. 14 divided by 14 is 1. Okay, x squared divided by x is x. Y squared divided by y squared is 1. So I'm left with just x. This is addition. Addition.
Good afternoon, teachers. Good afternoon, Mustangs. One announcement this afternoon, boys lacrosse.
Okay, so 42 divided by 14 is 3. X divided by x is 1. Y to the third divided by y squared is y. There's no squareds. They have nothing in common. So this is your answer, and this is what we call the GCF.
The whole thing?
No, just 14xy squared is the GCF. Okay, number 6. Number 2. The smallest number is 3. Does 3 go into all of those numbers? 3 goes into 6. 3 goes into 18. Does 3 go into a 1? No. So 3 is not a GCF. The smallest number after 3 would be 1, so we don't have that. Do they all have the same variable? Do they all have an m? Do they all have an n? So no GCF. So because this is a 4, we're going to do grouping. Again, how did you know, Ms. Fleury, that it was grouping? Because there was 4 terms, we're going to use grouping. So what do the first two parentheses have in common? A 6. And they have a m in common? Okay, what's 6m divided by 6m? And then there's an n left over. 6 divided by 6 is 1. M divided by m is 1, and I'm left with an n. What is 18m divided by 6m? 3. No matter what, you will always have something in common. Yes?
If there's always 4 terms, will it always be grouping?
Yeah. Okay, stop. Don't move. What do negative n minus 3 have in common? You guys, even if it was n plus 3, you still would have pulled out a 1. What's left over? My final answer is, and